Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Al Ray, and I'm the artistic director of the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival. We began working on this year's festival 2 hours after the completion of last year's festival. We like to strike while the iron is hot. We've essentially doubled in size from our festival last year. The festival now stretches over 5 days. There's over 20 performances.
Hello, every one of you. Excuse me. Hello, every one of you. Thank you so much, my puppets.
You decided to invite the Queen for this launch today?
Yes. Well, we had some fun with Sean Cullen last year when he was the Mackenzie King's mother at the Prime Minister show, and Sean has a character called Dame Sybil, so we had thought it might be fun to have Sean do the drag part and then also do stand-up, and people seem to like it.
Oh my, I've lost my stole. I killed this myself.
Once Sean arrived, I realized that the festival was now about 3 weeks away, and as much as I enjoyed the launch, it was as terrifying as the table of death.
And Jason's going to lie on this table, and every minute that passes, the spike platform up here, which weighs, I'm told, 200 pounds, 400 pounds, is going to come down. It's calibrated to drop once a minute. So by the time 3 minutes pass, the spikes will meet resistance in the form of Jason's internal organs. Start the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, Festival 2003 promises to be bigger and better than year one. Let me start with some news.
2 minutes.
Hey, I'm talking, okay?
Oh,
Pay me.
1 minute now.
I'm sorry, I can't rush the gallows, okay, Jason?
10 seconds.
Really remarkable and wonderfully delicious. Sean Cullen, done.
What made the launch so much fun is there was no trick to the table of death. If I hadn't finished, we really didn't know what was going to happen to Jason.
This is a logistical survey.
We might have to switch the 2 panels at the art gallery.
Okay.
Okay.
Like time or from Saturday to Sunday?
Well, Sylvain Larocque needs to be in Montreal to accept an award on the Sunday night, so he needs to be in Montreal by 6 o'clock. But before you even try the flight thing, I already went there, and it's not going to happen. So we're going to have to move the 2. We're going to have to switch the 2 shows.
Okay, so the French panel is Saturday afternoon.
And the American panel is now going to be Sunday.
This room's nice.
Is that enough for doing, like, change rooms, makeup for everybody?
And then Michel Maramba, speaking of more problems with that show, his stepfather's coming to visit from Africa. So he says that he's
Montreal?
To Montreal, and now he says he doesn't want to come anymore. So I went back to Eric and I said, you know what, we'll bring, if you tell his stepfather he can come as our guest. It's only a day
put him
show.
up in a nice
It's a
room.
little late to find out that one of our main acts is not coming, so we're going to see what we can do to make him come.
The Michel Maramba situation sadly did not end as we had hoped it would. We could not convince his stepfather to come visit Winnipeg in the middle of February. I guess because the stepfather lives in Africa, perhaps it wasn't surprising that he didn't want to come visit us in Winnipeg in the middle of February.
We went over there and did a site survey. They're going to have the stage. They have a social in there the night before, which is fantastic. Yeah. So it should be, you know, lots
The kids will love the smoke and beer.
The smoke and beer, which I think will be great.
We can do a butt rent.
Yeah.
We can do a butt rent before the show.
This is a meeting we're having on the children's show that we're doing this year. We had a kids show we had a kids show last year, but we're really upping the scale on this. So we've got a huge team working on this, and we hope the kids appreciate it because we're giving this a lot of hard work.
Till you clean the room, you can't see your comedy show, children.
So they've assured us that they will have it cleaned up and it won't stink.
I'm Al Ray, and this is a special edition of Culture Shock this Saturday afternoon. And how do we know it's late on a Saturday afternoon? Because I have 3 comics in the room, and they all look reasonably well awake.
You can buy these big perfume things too, can't you? These big sort of perfume can things that really make the air nice and fresh.
I don't know. I've got to assume that they've done this before.
I think if they let the doors open and just get some good winter air through there.
Big weekend this weekend if you want to go to see the show. Snap up some tickets. Pantages Playhouse, Thursday the 27th, Becoming My Mother, 8 o'clock.
Who's the greatest comedy festival?
We are.
Okay, there's a few things I want to get through in this meeting because it is the last one.
Sorry to interrupt you guys. If you haven't heard, I have an abscessed tooth 3 days before the festival. So I have to go into the dentist and they're going to do a temporary measure which they call opening the tooth, which will hopefully relieve me of some of the pain that I'm in right now. No, I'm not okay.
Oh, we'll get through this together,
okay.
just like everything
Now
else.
I'm okay.
So good.
Now I'm okay. Packing up my bag here. I'm back from the dentist. The tooth is hopefully fixed. After 5 months in this office, and turn off this light, head over to the hotel, and the comedy festival has begun.
Well, festival.
Winnipeg!
This year's festival features an all-star lineup of performers. They include a Whitney Brown from Saturday Night Live, Canadian favorite Sean Cullen, Kids in the Hall star Mark McKinney, and plenty of local comedians. You can enjoy free daily noon-hour shows at downtown malls, plus take in gala performances or panel discussions. For more information, log on to winnipegcomedyfestival.com.
A big break, a chance to take the stage and make you laugh. But he's only 17, a local improv artist about to make his debut. The CBC's Kim Babbage has more from the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
He shares a name with one of Canada's top comedians, and while Scott Thompson may still be a 17-year-old student, his biggest dream is to follow in the footsteps of his namesake and the rest of this country's biggest comics.
And to be put on the same place as they are, doing the same thing that they want to do, which is make people laugh, it's truly an amazing experience.
Thompson is a performer. He does improv, that is, comedic improvised acting.
Always fresh, right to order.
You might not pick up on his sense of humor right away, but the people who know him best, like the drama teacher who has taught him since 7th grade, rave about his talents.
He's very mature for his age. He's a very polite individual, and he listens.
Right now, his work is the CBC Comedy Festival, starting tonight in Winnipeg. Thompson was chosen out of about 200 student improv actors in Winnipeg to be part of an 11-member improv super team.
I reach out and take your hand, but I can't move my arms.
When I heard about the All-Star team, because I knew about it before, I had one thing in my mind, and that was, that's for me, I gotta do it.
Almost every line out of his mouth is always supporting the other character on stage, making the other character on stage look good, and making their job easy, which is the sign of a good improviser.
This student super team show is the first of its kind at the festival, and after the last rehearsal, Scott says the reality of it all is beginning to sink in.
There's actually going to be people out there the next night.
Ooh.
The show is expected to be sold out. Kim Babbage, CBC News, Winnipeg.
You're looking to work in a pet store. Yeah.
Well, the festival kicked off with a free noon-hour show at Portage Place Mall, but tonight some comedy bigwigs are hitting the stage, including a Whitney Brown. You'll probably remember him from his days on Saturday Night Live in the mid-1980s. Since then, Whitney has spent time touring across the United States on his motorcycle and appearing at comedy festivals whenever he's invited.
He's in Canada. He has a cottage.
To me, I view it as a mark of how highly I'm respected in the business that I would be invited to come to Winnipeg in February to do this festival. It's one of the perks of being who you are. You know, Winnipeg, it's a special time in Winnipeg, February. And it's just a plum job, basically. I feel I've earned it.
First of all, I would like to...
A Whitney Brown is also appearing in Punchline in the Sand this Sunday. For a list of shows, log on to winnipegcomedyfestival.com. Well, the will change your life.
Hello, how is everybody? In general, I prefer that we all just kind of relax about gender and talk about what's funny. Funny is funny. So whatever you can make funny, any audience is going to love it.
Jessica Holmes is just one of several Canadian comedians performing in the show Becoming My Mother.
Oh, kids, I'm adopting a little girl. And still I've managed to put on 40 pounds.
Jessica is known for her impersonations of Liza Minnelli and Celine Dion, but it's some other female Canadian comics who inspire her.
The women of SCTV I find hilarious, really, really funny. Carol Burnett is the big one. But the bottom line is Canadians, I mean, they just were like a comedy brewing, churning factory kind of thing.
Tonight's show here at the Pantages Playhouse features performances by 6 talented female comedians. They include Nancy White, Jennifer Robertson, and Deb Williams, host of Mom's the Word.
And on days of rest and celebration, help me make bigger meals for more people.
It's an amazing group of people that the Winnipeg Festival has brought together, so there's no doubt you're going to see funny people. Women stuff, probably a little bit more intimate. We like to talk. We like to share our feelings.
And both Deb and Jessica are living proof that females can be funny too.
I love making people laugh. I think because I grew up with depressed parents, I love making people laugh. That's what my whole life has been about.
Oh, so special for you that I am here. So very special.
I describe it like a roller coaster. When you're buckled down, you're going, oh my God, what did I get myself into? And then it gets to the top and it comes crashing and you're just full of emotions. And by the end of the ride, even though it was one of the most frightening things you've ever done, you want to do it again. It's addictive. The adrenaline is addictive. That's actually a scientific fact. I'm a very scientific woman.
And a very funny one.
Episode 10, we went parasailing and God, she shrieked like a little girl. As did I.
Some comedians say things funny, other comedians say funny things. I'm more of the say things funny group, I think. And tonight it's more about saying funny things. It's a bit of a departure, but you know, I like a challenge.
It's hard to think that anything would be a challenge for Mark McKinney. He spent years as one of the funny men on the hit show Kids in the Hall, which sparked a cult following across the country.
I thought Lady Macbeth should have been played by Liza Minnelli.
It was great. It was the most fantastic playground you could have. I can't think of a more ideal thing for someone who likes doing sketch comedy than having a show the way that we had it.
And the kids were just in Winnipeg last year for their Tour of Duty reunion.
It's kind of fun. I mean, it's like, you know, you've been home at Thanksgiving, you know, nothing changes. That's kind of what we're like.
Mark McKinney is in Winnipeg not only for the Comedy Festival, he's also appearing in local director Guy Madden's latest film. McKinney stars as an aggressive entrant in an international competition aimed at finding the saddest music in the world.
He's a local Winnipeg boy he really wants to be an American, but he's gone broke on Broadway. It's the Depression. He's come back to Winnipeg to try and win the saddest music in the world competition. But he's a rake. He's a scoundrel, and he gets his.
The film also stars Isabella Rossellini, but so far it's our own Guy Madden that Mark enjoys working with.
I love the way he works. It's a good match. It's really fun. It's a great story, a great character. I'm having fun doing that.
And as for the future of Kids in the Hall?
We've had a few meetings. We're kicking around ideas, thinking of doing maybe some television or a film project. We'd like to do something together. We're just taking our time to find something that everyone can agree on.
Mark McKinney is taking a quick trip to New York City this weekend to see his wife and kids, but then he'll be back in Winnipeg until filming wraps for the saddest music at the end of March. Well, there's a whole...
I don't know why I like to be laughed at. You see, it's good to be laughed at, but as long as you're in control of what's being laughed at.
It's hard not to laugh when Sean Cullen is around, which makes it especially difficult to conduct an interview with him. Sometimes you never know what he's going to say.
Where do you get your ideas?
From a cat that I filled with marbles, and then I throw it into a pool, and it sinks, and there's on the bottom of the pool there's a giant kind of grid. With random nouns and verbs.
Sean originally started out as an actor, but found the immediate response of comedy addictive.
Thank you. You say you're having a festival.
If it's not going well, people feel it's their right and duty even to tell you that they hate you immediately and interfere with you. If you're an actor and you're doing Hamlet, people aren't sitting in the audience go, I don't believe you're depressed, you know. You don't really care about your father.
Sean Cullen first emerged on the Canadian comedy scene in 1988 as a member of the musical comedy group Corky and the Juice Pigs. About 10 years later, he decided to go solo, later earned a Gemini Award for his performance on the Just for Laughs tour, and now has his own self-titled TV show.
It's like any business, you have to really work at it and make a huge investment. And you know, it was hard because you're watching all your friends getting jobs and having money and a house and car, and you go like, oh geez, I'm a real loser. I have to borrow money from my parents.
But I think those times are long gone for Sean Cullen. He has recently been featured in Time magazine as the leader of comedy's next generation.
I can tell you, she's real!
I feel sometimes as if I'm encased in rubber, and dogs are licking me, and they're making a squeaking sound with their tongue against my rubber-sheathed legs. But most of the time, I generally feel happy.
At the Pantages Playhouse, I'm Laura Hampshire, 8 Channel Entertainment.
And that is He is a legendary comedian in town for the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival. And today, Don Heron took some time out to read to students at Laura Secord School.
So she told them that if they unscrewed their tummy buttons, their bottoms would fall off.
Well, Heron delighted 40 grade 2 and 3 students with a fun reading of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Heron is performing at the CBC Comedy Festival Gala at Pantages Playhouse Theatre tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
You know, the hall was a pretty funny-filled place for us kids back in the day. But now I've discovered a whole universe of funny at the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival. Join me, Mark McKinney, from February 25th to March 2nd for 5 funny-filled days.
CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival Caption Contest. Now the prize, a family pack of tickets to the Comedy Festival Kids Show, which is this Sunday. It stars Al Simmons and the Arrogant Worms and Atomic Improv. Fantastic. Here are the winning entries. Let's take a look. 7-year-old Allison Calthorpe, who sent in this joke: where do fish keep their money?
I give up where?
In a riverbank.
Woo,
very
good
good.
joke.
Brett Peters of Winkler also won. So did 8-year-old Alan Rubottom, 9-year-old Haley Simmons, and 10-year-old Jessica Harishny from Hazel Ridge, Manitoba. We want to thank all the children who entered. And I also want
Get set, Winnipeg, for a laugh-in. It's the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival coming to town. Plus, Jeremy will have more in store musically, and Bob will have this. Well, I guess you might be wondering why I'm in bed with 2 gentlemen, but to fill you in on that story, I'll swing it over to Al Ray, Artistic Director for the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Well, we no longer have time to go up to our rooms, so we just decided to set up a bed here in the lobby. It makes life a lot easier. Got some great shows coming up this weekend. The Prairie Show on Friday night, hosted by Mark McKinney, some of the best stand-up comics in the country. The Late Show Friday night at the Pantages Playhouse, Musical Mayhem with the amazing Bowser and Blue, Nancy White. If you love music and comedy, that's the show to go to. Saturday night, our huge CBC Gala hosted by Sean Cullen with Stuart McLean, Lou Bagoy, Don Heron. Fantastic show, wonderful show. Some great programming down at the Gas Station Theatre. Jason will tell you about that.
Okay, you go to sleep, Jason Andrich, executive producer of the Comedy Festival. What's up at the gas station?
Well, tonight we get the All-Star Improv High School All-Star Show, and then tomorrow we have the Improv All-Star Professional Guys. I can't talk anymore. I'm falling asleep as we're talking. And then we also have that Saturday show, which is hosted by Peter Brown, which is a live CBC show being done from the Gas Station Theatre. On Friday, we have Sketches of Manitoba, which is some of the best live sketch comedy in Manitoba history. Best of the Fest is some of the best performers, including Erwin Barker, the Arrogant Worms, at the Gas Station Theatre with the Best of the Fest. And then on Sunday, Painting the Town Red with some of the funniest Aboriginal comedians in Canada, with like Tina Keeper, Herbie Barnes, Cullen Bob. Amazing.
Well, this city's going to be hopping, but where are the good parties going to be?
Oh, come on down to the Sheraton, hang out. There's always comics in the lounge. You can get your program down here. It's the heart of the festival, so come down and see us, say hi. All this weekend, Comedy Festival. It's the only ticket in town.
And we'll slowly rise up, slowly. One vertebrae straightening at a time. Nice.
Well, first we'll try to break that comedy.
Break their spirit.
Break the
really.
spirit, yeah.
And then mold them from the ground up into comedy fighting machines.
Yeah, just let your butt guide you. Make it big.
Why do you think improv is so exciting for young people today?
They see us up there, and they think, oh my God, you know, that's pretty much it. There is no greater height I could possibly dream to achieve than that fat guy up there, you know, with his pants down.
Or
a banana.
Or me, the skinny guy.
Yeah.
Trying to get the banana from the fat guy.
Yeah.
It's like
I mean, there's no greater reward in life. than humiliating yourself in front of all your friends.
But what matters in this scene, what actually makes the audience laugh, is her going, "I always had a crush on you," and you going,
There's going to be a show. Huh?
That's right. That's what she's leading you to.
Exactly. There's going to be
a bit
this,
about the show.
The show, the high school super show is what it's called, and it's going to be a super show of high school kids doing a super show.
We're going to take the absolute least crappy improvisers from every school and create the least crappy improvisers all-star team who will go out there and, in theory, do a show that is not crappy.
That is super.
Super, not crappy.
It's super.
What they're learning from a couple of gods in the field, so to speak. Everything I've learned in improv, I've learned from Steve, and what I really like is about improv. What draws me to it is just the selflessness of it, and hopefully that's what they'll learn, is just that it's not about them, it's about the team, and it's about the group idea and story and so on.
I see that you have most of a hammer stuck in there.
Yeah, I wanted to act since I was like 6 years old, so you learn a lot of things, and you go to a lot of great workshops in the city with local improvisers and local actors and things like that. You can learn a lot.
Do you think kids around your age think it's kind of cool, or is it still sort of like, oh?
Yeah, about the drama sports. I don't know. It's not the coolest thing per se, but I like it, so I don't really care.
If he cares, if he doesn't care too, then there's no point. There's no comedy to be found in the wrecking of the boat. And brother, there's a lot of comedy to be found in the wrecking of the boat.
They get the suggestion, they come up with a story from that suggestion, and it is literally not everybody thinking, okay, this is what has to happen. They think, where's everybody going and how can I guide that? You know, let's just let the water flow and make sure that it flows where it wants to. Don't force it, because then it's not natural. And they just kind of create it, and ideally they jump in the water and go for the ride.
Yeah? You gonna chill?
Jumping on stage and just doing whatever we're told to do is just amazing. It was such a confidence builder, and I've built so many new friendships with people that I normally wouldn't have come in contact with, and it's just amazing.
Customers like cheering people.
Yeah, if you were in customer service, that would be great, but, you know, in the
It's an amazing thing. Improv, you can be anywhere at any time. You can be a molecule on the bottom of a teaspoon, or you can be orbiting Mars. You can be anywhere, anything.
You wait for a body that's perfect.
Yeah, honey, I can wait. Trust me, I waited 25 years. I can wait.
So Diane and Kathy, do you just hang around the hotel and hope for somebody famous to drop by?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do here. It's great. Well, today I'm working as a floater, and I don't know where I will be. You know, they'll come down and say this needs to be done, and so I go off with another person to do it. But yeah, meanwhile I'm sitting around waiting for famous people to show up.
Well, that sounds like a fun job. Coming up next, our Boys of Summer. When they hit the baseball diamond this spring, their home CanWest Stadium will certainly look different. And Our Lady of Tax, Evelyn Jack, celebrates a milestone, her 30th book, and a very successful career. One of the many important aspects of the Comedy Festival are their volunteers. And with me right now, I have Festival Coordinator John Prentice. John, what are some of the duties that the volunteers will be doing?
Oh, there's various duties, Tracy. Behind us, we have hotel reception, and there's a survey crew this year. There's floaters that just go and help and fill in where needed. And most important, of course, ushers at the theaters to make people feel comfortable at the theater.
Now, how many volunteers would be involved?
Well, we have probably close to 100 volunteers when it comes down to it. Yep.
And the operative word is fun?
That's the most important thing. That's the top of the list. That's why I'm doing this job. It's a privilege for me to be involved. It's a windfall for me to be here, and I just hope everybody in the city gets a chance to get out and see this great festival because it's such great talent.
Now, if we're interested in coming to see some of the shows, what should we do?
Well, you can call Ticketmaster at 780-3333, or you can go to the website, winnipegcomedyfestival.com. It's a great website.
Go there, John says so. We're going to take a short break. We'll return with more Shaw TV and another great prize giveaway. Now, wouldn't it be great to wear your own Comedy Festival t-shirt to the Comedy Festival? And that's exactly what we have to give away. Courtesy of the CBC Winnipeg Comedy Festival, we have 2 t-shirts. All you have to do is give us a call at 480-3500, leave your name and telephone number, or send us an email at shawtv.wpg@shaw.ca. Don't forget the code word is comedy. Good luck. Ben Pajot. Well, we're still in bed here at the Sheraton, the official home for the Winnipeg CBC Comedy Festival. And I have to ask Al, if we want tickets, what do we do?
Tickets are available at Ticketmaster, 780-3333. WinnipegComedyFestival.com is the website.
And where are all the venues?
The Pantages Theatre, Gas Station Theatre, Winnipeg Art Gallery, the FMCC, and the Rendezvous.
Well, thanks to my two special guests. That's a wrap for us here at the Sheridan. Thanks for watching, and thank you for choosing Shaw. Wake up, guys.